Okay. So I am Teresa from Teresa's Spot for Art, and welcome to the clay pot painting tonight. So I have two sides. This one she was winking.
Disappeared.
She's gone?
Who's gone?
Oh,
No,
you're back.
No,
You just came back.
I'm here. All right. So they have two sides. So this one is a wink, but the wink was kind of confusing people. And people didn't like it. So then we went to this one where both the eyes were open. So I think we're going to stick to both the open eyes tonight. All right. You guys have glue that has a G on it. Put the glue and the earrings aside. Because when you get ready to do the earrings, you're going to want to center them and then you're going to need to hold them. So I'm not going to, sorry, but I'm not going to stay on while everybody's glue dries. And if your glue is taking too long to dry and you have a hot glue gun, you can do it with a hot glue gun. I'm just trying to move this out the way. But you're just going to want to find fairly center. I put them even with the eyes a little bit, but they could be a little lower. And you're going to want to glue them on and hold them. And see how they're not flat against the pot? You want a little bit of space in there because they're earrings. And if it was, then they stand out better when they're not flat against the pot. You can see them. Okay. So we're going to need our chalk to start out with. And I'm going to turn my camera around. There we go. So if you just hopped on, welcome, welcome, welcome. This Zoom is being recorded, so you guys will get the recording afterwards. I'm going to put something here so this doesn't move. There we go. I just chalked it up. And then, okay, very, very, very important. You want your clay pot to be like a clay pot. You're going to put a plant in it. So the band is up. You're going to have your pot the way, let me show you. You're going to have your pot the way it would sit somewhere. A lot of times when we do crafts or projects and my other projects, we've done it upside down. But no, this time you want your pot the right side because you're going to put a plant or whatever in it. That's totally up to you. So we don't want any upside down faces. Okay. You do not need the glue and the earrings. The glue and the earrings you can put aside for now. Trying to make this so we can see everything. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of this. I really don't need this for this project. Chalk that under there so you can see. We need our chalk and our flower pot. All right. The chalk will come off very easily with, and I didn't even do this. Let me do it now. With a wet rag or a wet paper towel. I'm going to show you. So this was mine from classes last week. This still has the chalk marks on it. I'm just going to dip a little bit of, I have my paint cup here. So I dipped a little bit of paper towel and I'm going to come here and I'm wiping the whole face. Obviously it's dry. I painted this last week and I just easily took off all the chalk. So we're going to draw our face on, then we're going to paint over it. And then tomorrow at some point, you can take a wet paper towel or a wet wash rag and clean off your chalk marks. Okay? Let's have that there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give it 2 eyebrows. And these are a little bit wide and a little bit curved. Mine don't match. We want them to match a little bit if we can. Okay. So 2 eyebrows, 2 arches up towards the rim, a little bit of an arch. Then we're going to draw our eyes. And the eyes are regular eyes. Let me get a piece of paper here. The only thing we're going to do different with our eyes. So ordinarily, when we were kids or we draw eyes on something, we will do this. And then make a big circle in it. Okay. We're not going to touch. We're not going to touch in here in the front. So when we're going to chalk it on, we're going to make the top part and then we're going to make the bottom part. They don't even have to touch back here. Okay. So I'm going to get my chalk and I'm going to come out a little bit even with the eyebrow. I'm going to arch up and out for the eye. Almost like we're drawing a fish. And then we don't want these to touch, but I'm going to come under and meet. If you have any questions, I mute everyone before we start, so there's no background noise. But if you have any questions, just hit the unmute button and I'd be more than happy to show you again, get the Sharpie, get the paper. I know you guys are used to me drawing everything on, but I didn't think if I drew these faces on, they would make it and be worth it when you guys got it, and we would be going through this anyway. So if you want me to show you again, or you have a question.
Teresa,
Yes.
hi. I really like the wink. Can you show the wink, how to do the wink?
I will definitely show the wink. I will show both
Okay.
wings.
Thank you.
Okay, I will show. So this side, you know what? And we'll draw it twice. This side, I'll do the open eyes. And then the other side, I'll do the wink.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, now this time we're just going to do it opposite. So we want them to be fairly even. I'm going to make the arch. And then it comes out a little bit. And then I'm going to make the under part where they meet. Okay. Then I want to turn it upside down for a second. Our nose is a curvy upside down question mark. So I'm just going to draw a question mark. I'm going to draw the hook and then a little curve up between the eyes. So it's like a loosey-goosey kind of question mark. All right, I'm going to turn it back around. So we did 2 upside down arcs for the eyebrows. Then we did another upside down arc for the top of the eye, but this time it kind of like made a sweep out. It's almost like, it looks like a leaf shape, an eye shape. Start in the center, go up, and then come out to a point, and then just do the bottom. We want to leave this open if we can in the center. And then again, up in an arc and out and under to meet. Then I did the nose. It's an upside down question mark. I did the top of the question mark, and then the straight part comes up. Not as far as the eyebrows. And if you chalked it too far, that's fine. Just when we come back and paint it, you know you want to stop painting at the eyes, because you can always clean off the chalk. Now I'm going to do the mouth. The mouth starts out with a little tiny heart. That's how we get that little divot in our lips. It's probably called something. The little divot in our lips, like between the nose and the mouth. So I'm going to draw a tiny heart. Okay. Then I'm going to bring one side and the other side. That one didn't match, so up a little bit higher. There we go. So it's weird. We have a little baby heart. And then this is almost like the same line with the eye. Out to the side, up and out to the side. And then I'm just going to close it. And we paint it, we're not going to worry about the heart. We're just going to paint right over the heart. We have the heart there, so then we have this divot. It's just an easier way, and it's an easier way for me to show you guys how to paint it. I'm going to turn mine around, and I'm going to redo the whole thing with, it's basically the same, but now I'm going to do the wink. So again, we're going to do 1, 2 eyebrows. They're fairly even, okay? And I'm going to come in here. I'm going to do the one eye. So I'm going to come up with a curve and then make a little tail. And then I'm going to close it and meet up. For our wink, we want a little tiny, this is going to be like the crease. We're just going to make a little bit of an angle. We're going to paint that black, but we're going to go up. It's a big wide kind of V under our eyebrow. And then the bottom lid is even with this lid because you still want your eyes to be even. So we have our 2 eyebrows. Which this one's a little low. I got to come up here a little bit. For 2 eyebrows. Then I did the little eye part, come up, and then flip it out a little bit. Close it up. And then for our wink, we're going to make this a light line in here. And then the curve underneath for our eye. You can do the same nose. So the nose is up to you if you want that nose. Or then this nose is just 3 little dots. They're kind of like 3 little scoops. I know it's hard to see it now. It really means nothing, but that's what it looks like. So you can decide if you just want those dots for an appearance of a nose, or if you want a more prominent nose. Totally up to you. And then I'm going to do the lips again. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and make a little baby heart. Okay, then I'm going to come off one side of the heart and make a little swoopy line. Almost looks like a mustache on a bad guy from the black and white movies. Okay, I'm going to come out on this side. Too low. There we go. And then just a scoop to scoop it closed. My mouth here, this mouth is way too big. I'm going to do this one again. So I'm going to do my heart. Swoop, swoop. I'm having a little trouble with this left swoop here. There we go. And then underneath it, just with a smile. Okay. So how is everybody doing with their drawing and their chalk? Okay. Oh, nice. Very nice. Cool, cool, cool. Good, good, good. How you doing, Suze? I can't, you're muted, but do you want to show me? Do you have a question? Are you struggling? I can't see your names in the way. Pick it up a little bit. Up, up, up. Oh, there you go. Good. It's not going to look like much right now. It's not going to look like much, but when we paint it, it will. Okay. So I just put, you guys have black, I just put out a little bit of black. You just have the one brush, so it's not going to be confusing. You guys want to wet your brush and then dry it. So if your fibers are wonky and those are brand new brushes, they might have chemical in them. So give them a little wash and then dry them off on whatever you're using to dry your brush with. And then we need the black paint to start with. There we go. Okay. When I use my brush, I'm going to come to the side and you can see my brush is sideways. It's horizontal to my plate. I'm not going and pouncing into the middle of my plate. I'm going to come over here a little bit horizontal, almost like on a 45-degree angle. And I'm rolling my brush. I'm rolling it in the side. I'm rolling over here between my thumb and my forefinger in the side of the puddle. I don't want any, I want my brush to have a nice amount of paint on it. And I don't want any fibers like boinging out if I can help it. Okay. If you have scrap paper or you have a tablecloth or something that you don't care about, something covering your table, just give a few practices of pressure. So if I put a lot of pressure on my brush, I'm going to get a really fat line. Okay. My fibers all spread out and I get a really thick line. I come back to my plate, I twirl, twirl, twirl. But if I put light pressure and I'm not real heavy-handed, I can get a thin line, a thicker line, a thicker line. So we want to keep our lines on the thin side. So if you have something that you can feel the pressure on, whatever you covered your table with, or a piece of scrap paper or whatever, that will be helpful. I need this now. Okay. I'm going to roll my brush in the black paint. And I'm going to paint on my eyebrows. I'm going right over the chalk. If you don't go right over the chalk, that's fine too. And then, like I said, tomorrow, you'll get a wet paper towel or a wet rag and you wipe the chalk off like I did on this one. These pots are porous. That's why we chalk the face first, because you really won't be able to get the paint off and fix it if it's not the way you really want it. I'm just putting out a little bit of the burgundy paint and a little bit of white paint while we're hanging. And don't forget, if you drew your face on and you want to watch me do the whole face and you're not ready to paint yet, you will have this recording tomorrow. Tonight, when I'm done, it has to convert. For some reason, when I'm on Zoom, the file format has to convert. And then I send it to Miss Angela and hopefully she sends it out to you guys tomorrow. So if you just want to chill and watch and then wait for the video and go along with me in the video where you can pause it, totally up to you. If you want to go for it, go for it. We might be able to like tweak some stuff after, but once the paint is on these porous pots, it's on there. Okay. So if you have the wink, we will get to the wink. we're going to do the eyes now. And again, I'm just using my brush, fairly light touch, and tracing the line that I painted on or put on with the chalk. Okay. Turn your pot whichever way is easy for you. Okay. I did my eyebrows and then the top of the eye. We're just going to keep working our way down. I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to do the bottom lid. They don't have to touch in either corner. Most importantly, you don't want them to touch on the inner corner where the nose is. Okay. If your brush gets gunky, has a lot of paint on it, just take your paper towel or whatever you're using. You don't have to go into the water. Just wipe it off and go back into the paint. Again, we're going to roll our brush between our thumb and our forefinger. You want to bring all the fibers together so there's no fibers all wonky or boinging out. Okay. And I'm just going to keep going. And I'm going to do my upside down question mark nose. I'm also going to lightly outline the lips. We're ignoring the heart. We don't care about the heart. The only reason we do the heart is to get the little divot in there. We're going to paint right over that heart. And I'm just gently outlining the lips. So we did the arc for our eyebrows. We did the top lid. We did the bottom lid. I traced the nose and then I traced the lips. I'm thinner on this side and thicker on that side. It doesn't matter. We're going to go in and we're going to paint all the lip anyway. So it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to turn this guy around. And I'm going to do my whole face again. And I'll show you how to do the wing. So I'm going to do my eyebrows. Okay. I'm going to do this upper lid on this side. And for the wink, the lighter you can make this crease, the better. Then I'm going to do the lower lid here. And then this closed lid. I know it looks weird right now. Don't worry, it comes together. And then this nose, if you want to do this nose, it's 3 little scoops. And then again, I'm going to outline the lips. Okay. So we just want this little crease in here for the wink. Our eyebrows. This mouth is still a little big, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. I'm going to flip back around. Okay. We want to make big round pupils in our eyes. We're filling the whole thing in with black. Make them as round as you can. Also, make them even Steven, or as best you can. You don't want to put one big circle over here and then one big circle over here. If they're in the middle, they're in the middle. Mine, I left a little clear space. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. But over here, obviously, it's only the one pupil. And I'm just painting in a circle. Okay. This one stays like this. This was confusing people at one of the in-person classes when it was the wink, because it was a wink and then people were forgetting it was a wink and they were putting the eyeball in there and then we had to like change the whole thing. So this is what we have. Again, I'm going to wipe off my brush. I'll get a little paint buildup on there. I'm gonna wipe it off on my paper towel. And then come back to my paint, twirling it between the thumb and the forefinger right there till my bristles come together. Again, if you have a little scrap paper or whatever you covered on your desk or your kitchen table, wherever you're painting, we're going to do our eyelashes now. The bottom lid on the open eye, so on these eyes, so watch me first. We're just going to put maybe 5 lashes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Little lashes outside corner. And then on the top, we're going to put lashes on the whole thing. And you're just going to keep going as you get to the sides. They're angled out. All your lashes are not going to be like this. Okay, let me do another eye for you. Ooh. We want our lashes, oops, to follow the curve. And you can have as many lashes as you want, but we want them to follow the curve as you come around. They're going to have a little angle to them. All right. They're not going to be all sticking up straight. Okay. So back to here. I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the lighter you can do it, the lighter touch, the better. And I'm turning it upside down now, so they curve the same way. And I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can't fit 5, don't squish them in. Don't go adding them. Maybe for where you started, you can only do 3. If you want to do 5, come back here. But don't be like adding them up in here because I'm saying 5 and you couldn't fit 5. Maybe you started closer and then you could only fit 3, and then maybe you can go back and put another couple in the front. And then I'm going to do these. And again, you can put as many or as few as you want. I'm trying to do a light touch. I did big ones, and now I'm going back and filling it in. I put way more on this one than I did on this one, only because I'm trying to mix mine up a little bit because I have so many. Okay. When I paint, I like to pull towards me. That's why I'm turning these upside down. And again, I'm making them pretty far apart. And if you like the way that looks, you can leave it. Or if you want to add, I'm going to add because mine have to match. I'm just going back and putting a couple more in each section. So totally different from this one. This one I put a few. This one I put quite a few. Okay. I'm gonna come back to here. I'm gonna just put, this is on the side with the wink. Whoa. I'm just gonna put the 5 little ones on the open eye. And I'm gonna come back up here and put them on the open eye. I'm gonna leave these sparse again. And on the wink, we're only putting eyelashes on the bottommost line. This is the eyelid. This is a crease. That's the eyebrow. So we're only putting eyelashes down here on the whole thing. Okay. Okay. So turn it back over. We have a few little eyelashes in the corners of the closed eye. And then the whole upper lid gets eyelashes. We're going to let our black dry, and we're going to move on to our lips. Okay. So you can use your burgundy straight if you want your lips really dark, or you can mix it with a little bit of white. I'm going to mix mine with a little bit of white and make like this pink color. If you want to use it straight and have your lips be really dark, you can. Totally up to you. I'm mixing a little bit of white and a little bit of this red burgundy color and getting like a rose pink. I'm going to paint in the lips. I'm going to paint over the black. Okay? You don't have to paint inside the black. We did the black because it'll appear through our lip color and make our lips have a little shadow. You don't have to try and paint within the black lines. That was not the point of the black line. The point of the black line was for it to shine through and give a little bit of a shadow. So I'm painting right over the black line. We want it underneath the pink. And I'm filling in the entire lip. Okay. It's hard to tell until you wipe the chalk off. So, I mean, your smile like look a little wonky, but don't forget, we're going to come back tomorrow and you're going to wipe it all off with a rag. I didn't clean my brush, but I came right back into the burgundy paint. So there was like the pinkish on my brush, but I only picked up the burgundy paint. And I'm filling in the lips on the other side where I showed you guys how to do the wink. Again, I'm painting right over the black. We only put the black there so it would have a little bit of shadow behind the paint. There we go. I'm trying to make my lips more even, but even at some point, I have to give up and be happy with it, because if I keep trying to make my lips even, Steven, I'll be going back and forth, and before you know it, I'll have giant, giant lips and they'll look hideous. And now that I look, I think this is too pink here. After I did these ones, this one full, and this one is a little darker, I think I'm going to darken up the lips that I made on this side. There we go. It's a little bit darker. I painted right over it. Yeah, that's a much better shade. Okay, we'll let that dry. So far this is what we have. The one side with the open eyes. And then the other side with the wink. How's everybody doing? Thank you. Cute. Good job. You guys don't have to put your camera on, but if you want to show me, if you have any questions, you can put it on just to show me your project. You don't have to be on camera. I don't have to see where you live. It's all good. Nice job, you guys. I'm going to go back to this side. Okay. We're going to do our white now. So our eyes should be dry. I'm going to use the back of my brush, the handle of my brush. You know, I do this all the time when I have to do dots. I'm going to dip it in my white. And I'm going to, for this one, put that little white in there and then add a little dot above it. Okay, so I used the handle of my brush. I dip it in the white paint. And I want this dot to be the same place this dot is. So if this one, it's fairly in the middle of my black circle, I'm going to make this one fairly in the middle of my black circle. And I'm drawing it with the back of the brush. And then I'm just going to take the back and make a little dot. Okay, I'm going to show you guys again on this side, on the closed eye on the other side. Dipping it in, dipping the handle of my brush, and drawing a little white circle with my brush handle. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of a dot for a highlight next to it. Okay. Then I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to roll it in my white. Again, I want to get a nice point at the tip of my brush. And I'm just going to put a little bit of white right over the black on the bottom eyelid. It doesn't have to be one long line. You can take it and just add a little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit. Just get a highlight on the bottom. And this will help too if your bottom lid was a little thick, adding the white to it kind of loosens it up a little bit, makes it a little bit lighter, not as thick and dark. I put a highlight here on this nose. I don't love it. I might actually go back over that with black now that we're here and doing this, because I didn't like that highlight there. There. I went over most of it. Still a little bit there, but I went over most of it because I wasn't loving that anyway. So I think I'm not going to mess with the nose. Now for our mouth, we can do it where we put a larger white spot, larger white area. It kind of follows the shapes of the lips. This is my old one, you guys. I'm just coming in here and playing with it. All right. It follows the shapes of the lips. It gives it more of like a smile. Or you can do it like this with just a little bit of a highlight in the middle and then a highlight at the upper lips. It's up to you. So you can do it like this with a line in the middle and a little bit of highlight at the top. Or you can fill in most of the center, half of the center, however we think it is, and make a smile. I'm going to do it both ways again, but you guys can decide. I think this one I'm going to do the highlights on. So this one, my wink side where I use the darker, I'm just going to put a little bit of a highlight. On each side. And then a very fine line, light touch, right down the middle. Ooh. Or then for this side, I'm going to get the white again. I'm going to follow the shape of the lips with that little divot there. Come in here on the bottom, close it up, and fill that in. So there's my one side. Here's this side. These lips were smaller, and that had the wink. And then this side, a little too much white over here on this one. I get a little bit more of my burgundy. I'm going to cover this white a little bit. Plus, again, it's hard to see it because my chalk is still there. So I'll be able to tell better tomorrow when I clean off my chalk. Mm. So these two, more of a closed lip looking. This is the one with the wink. Otherwise, then this side is more of a smile. There we go. Okay. All right. How's everybody doing? Good? Okay. We want our knot in the front. I mean, I painted on both of these sides. So on this side, obviously the knot is not in the front, but I think it looks cuter with the knot to the front. Okay. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes, then I'm going to show you how we're going to fold the bandana. I'm trying to take a peek on mine because mine is white. Okay. So I have my bandana here. It doesn't go fit under the camera, the whole thing. It's a big square. We want to fold it into a triangle. So I'm going to take one corner and fold it up to the opposite corner. And now I have a triangle. Okay. I'm going to flip it over because I want the point towards me. And watch too, there's one side of these are not double-sided, these bandanas. They are kind of, but not really. So one sided bandana is much more vibrant than the other side. There's a front and a back. So you want the front out, obviously. Okay. So we have a triangle now. We went corner to corner and made a triangle. We're going to start folding our bandana from this little point on the triangle. So it stays tucked in. And I'm just going to fold it up maybe about an inch. So you want it to cover the band. And so maybe about an inch. And I'm just going to keep going and folding and folding the whole way up. Okay. Until I get to this. And now I just have this long strip. Folding it on the diagonal actually makes it longer as well than if you were to just fold it up from the square. Okay. So I have this. This one's kind of short, but doesn't matter. I'm just folding it in. Doesn't go all the way, but it's okay. I'm just folding it in. I'm going to take my flower pot and put it down in the center. I'm going to show you how I do this. It might be easier if you have your flower pot standing up and you put the bandana on and you pull it towards you, but I have to show you guys how to do it. So we want the flower pot to be right in the middle, and then we're going to bring up both sides. You want to make sure they're fairly even. If they're not even, you want to slip it a little bit. Okay. I'm going to make one knot, just a regular old knot, and put the tail through and pull it pretty tight. Now, if you can, whichever way you did the knot the first time, you want to do this knot the opposite way. and pull the tail through, the other tail through the other way. And I don't remember what I did, so I have to undo it. Okay, so I went over with the left and under and pulled. Now I'm going to go over with the right and under and pull. And that gives you like a little bit more even, Steven, with your tail sticking out to either side. And there you go. Isn't she cute? So cute. So I have her and I have her. Now you guys have glue. If you want to put some glue around the band of your flower pot and then go back and put your bandana on again, you can. If you don't want your tails out here, you can take the glue and glue them down. Flush up to you. I like them flailing and pointing out. And they're both different. And then the last thing you guys are going to do is you're going to line up where you want your earrings. You're going to put a little dab of glue at the top of the earring, and you're going to stick them on a little further up to the top, but in the middle, like right, so you can see them from the front on either side. A little dab of glue. If you do have a hot glue gun, it will work better. If you don't, you're just going to have to sit here and hold them on for a few minutes. This is tacky, quick craft glue. It works pretty well, and it should work. I don't know where my other bottle is. It should work good for you. I use it a lot of projects. Like this is the glue I use for pretty much everything. Oh, here it is. That's what you guys have. This is Aleene's tacky glue. It's great for crafting and a good price point. But you will have to hold your earrings on if you don't have a glue gun until they dry. And that's it. Anybody struggling? Anybody have any questions? Anybody need me to see something? I'm going to turn you guys around. There we go. There we go. And here. So that's and all my faces are totally different. That's one. That was the other one. So cute. Oh, you guys, it's so cute. And in case you, all you guys, so cute. You guys did a great job. There's my other one with the wink. So cute. Did you guys have fun? And then here's the other one. You can unmute yourself if you want, if you have any questions.
This was awesome.
Thank you.
It's so cute.
Thank you. I'm going to stop the recording now. Don't forget, you guys will get the recording. Don't go anywhere just yet. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Teresa.